So this one really caught everyone off guard. Imagine this: a private dinner in San Francisco, just a handful of reporters at the table, and then Sam Altman casually drops a bombshell. He said the CEO of OpenAI in 3 years might not even be a human being. Let that sink in. Not a joke. Not some wild hypothetical. A blunt statement from the person steering one of the most influential companies on the planet. In this video, we're going to unpack everything behind that claim. The messy rollout of GPT-5 and why, despite all the backlash, companies are still racing to adopt it. OpenAI's trillion-dollar data center vision. Brand new hardware in collaboration with Jony Ive, the legendary designer behind the iPhone. And even brain-computer interfaces that could let you talk to ChatGPT with nothing but your thoughts. We'll dive into Altman's warnings about an AI bubble, his feud with Elon Musk, why he says he doesn't even use Google anymore, and his surprising, maybe even unsettling views on the future of Gen Z jobs. And here's the thing. That comment about an AI CEO wasn't a throwaway line. It was a blunt summary of the scale of what OpenAI is building right now. Because this isn't about AI as a tool anymore. It's about AI becoming a participant in the system itself. Let's break this down. The company is already moving beyond the old cycle of one big model after another. Yes, GPT-5 did launch this year, but instead of being the shiny centerpiece, it felt more like a side note. And maybe that was intentional. Altman admitted GPT-5 came out colder than expected, less emotionally expressive than GPT-4 Pro. And users noticed. Complaints poured in. It feels stiff, robotic, even dumber than the old model. So, OpenAI rethought the whole user experience. Instead of locking users into one personality, they made ChatGPT customizable. You can now set it to feel warm and conversational, or stripped down and ruthless. The idea isn't to enforce one universal tone, it's to give you control. But the rollout wasn't smooth. Altman himself admitted, "We totally screwed up some things on the rollout." API traffic doubled in just 2 days. They literally ran out of GPUs. ChatGPT hit record daily highs in usage. And yet, the backlash was so loud, OpenAI had to bring back GPT 4.0 as a legacy option for paying customers. They also introduced GPT-5 modes. Fast mode for quick replies. Thinking mode for deeper analysis. Auto mode to switch between the two. Except one day, the auto switcher broke and users thought GPT-5 had gone brain dead. That's how fragile user expectations are at this scale. Inside OpenAI, product head Nick Turley admitted GPT-5 felt too blunt. He liked it that way. "I'm German, whatever." But most users didn't. So they patched in little touches like "good question" or "great start" just to soften the edges. And yet, here's the twist. Despite the backlash, enterprises are embracing GPT-5 at record speed. Startups like Cursor, Versal, and Factory have already made it their default engine. Box CEO Aaron Levy literally called it a breakthrough, saying it handles dense, logic-heavy documents better than anything before. JetBrains switched its AI assistant over to GPT-5. Benchmarks confirm it. Codeto showed GPT-5 outperformed Google's Gemini 2.5, Claude Sonnet 4, and Grok 4 in detecting security flaws and cleaning up code. And for businesses, here's the kicker: price. GPT-5 is reportedly 7.5 times cheaper than Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.1. If you're running thousands of daily queries, that's an unbeatable advantage. This isn't random, it's deliberate. OpenAI's strategy is clear: slash costs, flood the market, and eat the infrastructure bill. They expect to burn through $8 billion this year just to keep the lights on. The gamble? That enterprise loyalty will stabilize long before the next model drops. And this is why learning AI today isn't just smart, it's urgent. In 2025, more than 51% of companies already use AI. Microsoft, Amazon, and Google have laid off thousands because of it. Surveys show 40% of people fear AI will take their job this year. But here's what most people miss. Those same companies are also hiring. Hiring people who understand AI, can use it, and can build with it. For businesses, freelancers, and creators, AI isn't optional anymore. It's leverage. Those who master it now, they'll outrun the rest. Now, let's zoom out. Altman laid out numbers that sound almost unbelievable. $3 trillion invested into building new data centers. $4 trillion back in service revenue. His logic is simple. If OpenAI doesn't scale compute at that level, they'll keep disappointing customers. Inference services are already profitable. But training these models, that's what drags the company into the red. Altman's solution: new financial instruments, structures beyond venture capital or traditional funding rounds. He's basically rewriting the financing playbook because the old one can't handle this kind of scale. He's putting AI in the same category as energy and telecom. And trillion-dollar build-outs. That's how you prove it. But scaling infrastructure isn't the whole story. Hardware is another pillar. Altman confirmed he's working with Jony Ive, the man behind the iPhone, on a new line of AI devices. He described them as worth waiting for, and even joked, if anyone dares to put a case on them, he'll personally show up. Meanwhile, OpenAI is stepping directly into brain-computer interfaces. The long-term goal? For people to talk to ChatGPT with thought alone. That's been Elon Musk's territory with Neuralink, until now. And make no mistake, OpenAI wants to compete. Which brings us to the feud. The Altman versus Musk feud. Altman and Musk co-founded OpenAI back in 2015. Musk left in 2018 after trying to fold it into Tesla. Since then, it's been lawsuits, insults, and direct competition. Musk launched xAI in 2023 and mocks ChatGPT as woke and insufferable. He's sued OpenAI to stop it from converting into a for-profit. Altman, on the other hand, has backed brain-computer interface startups like Merge Labs, valued at $850 million, positioning them head-to-head with Neuralink. It's personal. Musk calls him Scam Altman, or Swindly Sam. Altman says Musk operates from insecurity. But here's the irony, that rivalry is pushing both sides harder. Meanwhile, security and privacy are climbing up the agenda. Altman revealed OpenAI is considering encryption for ChatGPT, starting with temporary chats, data that isn't saved in history or used for training, but may be stored for up to 30 days. But true end-to-end encryption? That's harder because the provider itself is part of the conversation. Apple's private cloud compute might be a model, but even that isn't perfect. Altman now believes AI deserves legal privileges similar to doctor or lawyer confidentiality. Right now, OpenAI only gets law enforcement requests in the double digits per year, but it would take just one major case to force a change. And then there's the market reality. Altman has been blunt. We might be in an AI bubble. His words: smart people are getting overexcited about a kernel of truth, just like the dot-com boom. Are valuations insane? Yes. Are some startups unsustainable? Yes. Will people get burned? Absolutely. But here's the duality. Altman still insists AI is the most important thing to happen in a very long time, bigger than the dot-com era. And even the dot-com bubble still produced real value. Other voices agree. Alibaba's Josiah, Ray Dalio, and Apollo economist Torsten Slok all warn this bubble may be even bigger than the 90s. But Altman shrugs it off. In fact, he went further. If Google were ever forced to sell Chrome, he said OpenAI would consider buying it. That's how much his perspective has shifted. Finally, let's talk about the next generation. Altman told Gen Z graduates this year that this is the most exciting time in history to start a career. A 25-year-old in Mumbai, he said, now has more potential power than any generation before. But here's the contradiction. Entry-level jobs are vanishing. Millions of young people are already classified as NEET, not in education, employment, or training. Anthropic's Dario Amodei even warned AI could wipe out 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs in the next 5 years, pushing unemployment up to 20%. Altman's optimism collides with those numbers, and it shows how disruptive this moment really is. So across all these threads, model backlash, enterprise adoption, trillion-dollar data centers, brain interfaces, Musk drama, privacy battles, AI bubbles, job upheaval. The common theme is scale. OpenAI is trying to redefine what an AI company even is. And that's why Altman's statement that the next CEO might not be human doesn't sound like a throwaway line. It sounds like the logical extension of everything they're building. Thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts down below. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll catch you in the next one.